percentage on a body line or a curve, right? What's that worth, Phil?
Per line.
Per line, how much?
It's very good, the line.
Yeah, I've always heard an hour. I mean,
Hour
you
and a
know, hour per line. Anybody else hear anything different when they've got to rebuild a body line? About an hour-ish? Yes, no, maybe? Just Phil and I?
Yeah, about the same.
How about the swag method? This is the most commonly used method in our industry, by the way, the swag method. Y'all know what that is?
No.
Scientific wild ass guess. We just walk up to the car and say, 5 hours, and then we walk away, right? That's more realistic of what we do, right? We use, this is our most favorite method in our industry, right? So, what I want to do, I didn't talk about the credit card. I want to bring that up because I've actually got a shop, a couple of them now, that are starting to do this, and what I do like about the credit card thought process is they're always the same size, right? So we get off of this different sized hands. I've got a shop that goes to the NAP, to my national meetings, so the shop's out on the East Coast. But they have gone out and taken a credit card size, it may even be their business cards, and they put magnet on the back of it. So when they go to figure judgment time, they stick them on there, and if there's 6 of them, they take a picture of the 6 cards on the dent, and they're trying to say each credit card is worth an hour, right? Whatever that is for you. My only point of that is at least it's a method. Do you see what I mean? So I'm not saying the insurance company is going to immediately say, oh wow, Phil, that's a great freaking idea. I'm going to start paying you an hour for every credit card that you have up there. But if they consistently come into your store and every time they come in, you're determining judgment time with the same criteria that you determined it with, at some point, at least you have a method. Which is above your competition, by the way. Most of us don't have a method, so if you have a method, then it becomes harder for them to argue with you, because one of their first questions is how did you come up with this time, right? And what is our response? Jose told me he needed 5 hours. That's not good enough for you? Oh, you mean I gotta prove this, right? That doesn't work, does it, right? My tech said that he needs this much, but we say that a lot, and that doesn't really get it done. Have a method of how you get there, right? So let's do this real quick. So all I want you to do I think it's on page 50 in your book, right? You should have pictures of this card. And this is a real simple thing. And do we have food yet?
Yeah, we will check.
Okay. Because after I get done with this, I think they're tired listening to me, I can tell. So all I want you to do, right, is, and I'll cite these pictures. I know they're black and white in your book, so I've got them up here. You can see them in color. All I want you to do is just write down, I don't care about paint time, just how many hours it's going to take to repair this quarter, okay? Just body time, that's it, okay? So here's the pictures, I'll cycle through them, right? Okay, so which one do you, I personally think that's the best picture. I don't know how y'all feel. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Should give you 5 because that's how much time you'd spend at the shop. To how many hours it would take to fix that car, to fix that quarter. So there's no right or wrong answer. Well, there could be. I won't beat you up too bad. Just write a number down, damn it. Has everybody got a number down? Okay, I was going to say, let's keep it real, because you guys have already made this decision if you were at the shop and you'd have moved on to something else, right? We good? Everybody got a number? Because I'm about to ask you what your number is. Everybody got a number? Okay. What's your number? 8? 8? 9?
12 and a half.
Sounds like Bill. 7? 11?
I would have asked for 10, but took 8.
Okay. I'll go with 10. 5. Oh my God.
8 and a half.
I lost it.
Yeah, I'll put 8.
8. 7 and a half. 5. 12. Liar. Just copy over there. What'd you put? What do you think? About 8? Somewhere in there? 7, 8? Okay.
7.
6. 8. You're all fired. I was wrong. There is a wrong answer. No, look. So look, at the end of the day, it's judgment time. There really isn't a wrong answer. But here's what I want to tell you. So we looked at, and I'm surprised one of you didn't tell me this car's total. Right? You know, I mean, from the year and everything else. The thing is I'm not going to lie, it's a setup, right? And you guys pretty much all failed, just so you know. But here's the thing. We just talked about some criteria, right? One of the things that came up was damaged on a body line or a curve, right? Okay. Now here's the deal. I want you to put down what you can sell, right? Because I'm about to ask Phil how he got to those 12 and a half hours. Because in the real world, as soon as you put judgment time down on that deal, the next conversation is going to be with that insurance company on how did you get to that 12 and a half hours. And if your answer is because Jose asked me for 12 and a half hours, you are not going to get 12 and a half hours. You're going to get part of that, right? So the real key is to be able to come back and say, why, give them why I need 12 and a half hours on this job. So Phil, how did you get to 12 and a half hours?
Actually, I have done the paint body work myself, so
I don't care about any of that.
As an estimator.
Yeah,
But-
but here's the deal. The
Let's say I
insurance
did-
company doesn't care about that either. That you
But
did.
the lines, the curve, the addition
Right.
on the curve,
Yeah.
pulling the rest of the body out for the contour of it, yes.
Yeah. So basically there, but you didn't do it good enough. So here's how you do it, right? So the reality of it is we've got damage on that outer wheelhouse. Would you not agree? Does everybody not agree that we got a little damage on that outer wheelhouse? Probably going to take a little bit of time to fix that outer wheelhouse. I'm going to say it's going to take 2 hours. That's what I'm going to go for. I may only get one when I'm negotiating, but I'm going to go for 2, right? Now, we talked about body lines and curves. I've always been taught, by the way, and I don't know about the rest of you, that every body line on a panel that they got to recreate is worth an hour. Been that way for as long as I can remember. Even insurance people have been told that, by the way, because I've had this conversation with these people, right? Now, they may fight back or whatever, but an hour, I heard an hour and a half, we can probably say it's somewhere between 0.5 and an hour and a half for every body line. Would you not agree? Okay? Because the right answer on this is whatever I can get for it, but the number really is right at around 12, right? But I got to be able to sell that, and that comes this way. I got 2 hours to repair the outer wheelhouse. How many body lines do I have on that car that I've got?
2.
No.
3. 4. 5.
5. You can make an argument for 5. You've got 1, I'll do it like this, 1, 2, 3, and this is actually a double line, 4, 5, and you might be able to make an argument that that contour up there actually, we even get into it. I might be able to make an argument for 6, but I can make an argument for 5 all day long. So there's 5 hours, 2 hours for the outer wheelhouse. I'm at 7 for those of you who had it 7, and we hadn't even fixed the damn dent yet, right? I'd say that dent's at least worth 5 hours, would you not? I think I could get 5 on it. It pretty much stretches from here to there and up almost to that line. Think you get 5 hours to fix the dent? My point of this is that if I break it down like I just did, we can argue over the times I just used. Maybe it's in your mind it's half an hour a line or whatever you want to say. But if I break it down that way and the insurance adjuster comes to me and says, Greg, how in the hell did you come up with 11 hours or 12 hours or 10 hours? And I can come back and say, this is exactly how I came up with it, Mr. Insurance Company. I got to fix this wheelhouse. I got to rebuild these 5 body lines that are in here. And this dent that I got to fix due to its depth and size, I believe is worth about 5 hours, right? It's a lot harder to argue with when I bust it up like that, right? Than it is if I just say, 8 hours, right? Yes, no, maybe you think that might help you a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. And you can think about the credit card thing. Again, I'm not telling you.
Show me the two that you said that
It's a double. So and again, this car's
Can you
a
make it
setup.
big?
They don't. No, I
It's
can't
an
make it
addition.
big. It's this gap right here. Right?
okay,
See what I'm
okay.
saying? And so that's a double line because you got one there and then one at the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I set you up. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even make that thing anymore, and there's really no double line outer wheelhouses out there. But even if there's plenty of cars out there, though, that have 4 body lines right there, and sometimes I think we probably could get more money to fix those than what we do sometimes. And again, I think if we're honest with ourselves, the real thing that happens during judgment time and why we don't get what our technician is asking us for is because we're not prepared to have the conversation of why we need the time. You see what I mean? So if you've got a method and the insurance person asks you how you got there and you're immediately able to tell them how you got there, it now becomes a lot harder for them to just arbitrarily deny what you're saying. I'm not going to say you're not going to get a jerk of an insurance person that's just going to be a jerk, but if you've got a good method, it becomes harder to argue or debate your method because you have method.